Welcome Villa Park to the Village of Villa Park Board meeting on this Monday, October 24, 2016. I'm Village Clerk Kornecki, and I will call the roll. Trustee Aiello. Trustee Bolthus.
Here.
Trustee Kazone.
Here.
Trustee Case.
Here.
Trustee Taglia.
Here.
Trustee Wagner.
Here.
President Bullwinkle. Okay, in the absence of President Bullwinkle, I will ask for a motion to appoint Trustee Bolthus as the President Pro Tem for the evening. Do I have a motion?
Madam Clerk, I would like to make that motion.
Okay, Trustee Kazone, is there a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Case, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Aye, Al.
Trustee Bolthus?
Now move your chair.
Okay. Wait a second, I gotta get a little adjusted here. All right, let's all stand for the pledge, please. I'll lead. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a second. If Trustee Tagley, would you lead us with a prayer, please?
Certainly. Our Heavenly Father, will thou be pleased to grant that this meeting, thus begun in order, be conducted in peace and closed in harmony. Amen.
Amen. First item is any amendments to the agenda. Do any of the board members have any amendments to the COW? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 4, proclamation recognizing School Board Member Day. And I give that back to you, Mr. Keene.
Okay.
This is here? Yes.
Proclamation recognizing School Board Members Day as of November 15th, 2016. Whereas school board members are elected to sit in trust for their diverse communities, and in that capacity are charged with meeting the community's expectations and aspirations for the public education of their children. And whereas school board members are entrusted with the guardianship and wise expenditure of scarce tax dollars, and they are responsible for maintaining and preserving the buildings, grounds, and other areas of the school district that the community has put in their trust. And whereas school board members are responsible for providing leadership that ensures a clear, shared vision of public education for their schools that sets high standards for the education of all students and requires the effective and efficient operation of their districts. And whereas school board members adopt public policy to give voice to that leadership and employ a superintendent to administer board policy, and are also responsible for the regular monitoring of the district's performance and compliance with state policy. And whereas school board members selfishly donate countless hours to public service with no compensation, and whereas employers are supportive of their employees who serve as school board members, generously lending support and time, employers give their employees the opportunity to better serve the needs of the school districts and communities they represent through sometimes tremendous sacrifice to the employer. And whereas decisions made by school board members directly impact the quality of life in their communities, placing them at the front line of American democracy. And now, therefore, I, Deborah Bullwinkle, Village President of Villa Park, do hereby proclaim November 15, 2016 as School Board Members Day as a way to honor those citizens who devote so much of their time and energy for the education of our children. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't see any. Do we have any school board members here?
Danny, I believe.
I thought so. So, any comments you'd like to make? Go right ahead.
My name is Danny Brink. I'm the Director of Community Relations for District 88, which includes Willowbrook High School and Addison Trail High School. So I'm here tonight representing our district and our board just to say thank you so much for taking the time to honor that day. As Mr. Keener mentioned, These are members of our community. You will see them constantly out and about. We did a count, and they're at more than 120 events every year. They're at all these meetings, all these workshops, and they do it all, as he mentioned, without compensation. They're doing it to make their communities better. So thank you for taking the time to recognize that, and we truly appreciate our partnership. I've been with the district for 5 years, and it amazes me every day how much the village does for us and what a great partnership we have, and we definitely look forward to continuing that. So thank you again tonight for recognizing that.
Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is a presentation for a proposed Washington Street sewer separation project by Christopher Burke Engineering. Manager Keenan.
Thank you.
Almost second email.
You did that last. Thank you, Your Honor. Subsequent to the storms in April 2013 that affected many portions of the village, Christopher B. Burke Engineering Ltd., otherwise known as CBBEL, entered into a contract with the village to develop a comprehensive flood plan. As part of that plan, the Washington Street corridor was identified as in need of combined sewer separation. CBBEL has completed preliminary engineering for the sewer separation improvements, which includes separation of 87 acres tributary to the combined sewer, elimination of a combined sewer overflow to Salt Creek, and improved flood protection. CBBL will present these findings and more details in a brief PowerPoint presentation. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, and I did note that it says brief, so I will be brief. I'm going to try to present this in a brief way, the background of the project, for those of you that don't recall. I don't know why you would necessarily know the details of it. Some description of the project and the benefits of the project. For those of you that may recall, this was identified in our comprehensive flood plan that we prepared, and this area includes combined as well as already separated out areas. So it includes a combination of sanitary sewers, combined sewers, and storm sewers. So it makes it a little bit difficult. It's going to require changing your plumbing. We need to separate out all the storm water from the sewage, because if we put the combined sewage in open areas like a pond, that's not a good situation for the obvious reason. You have things that are not acceptable in that pond or in that grassed area. So what we want to do is to eliminate the combined sewage that overflows into Salt Creek from a combined sewer overflow and use it as our storm sewer outlet. And that's really the important part here. So just to give you some background, in the area that is shown in the black is the combined sewer area, which is about 1,200 acres. And the goal is to separate that out, keep the sanitary sewer in the sanitary sewer, the storm water in the storm sewer. This area drains that we're talking about today drains to Salt Creek, and we also have some storm sewers that I'll talk about at the end that drain to Sugar Creek as well. So this gives you an idea of the area. The objective is to have everything when you're done with this project, if you pursue it, as well as other projects you already have under design, everything in yellow will be separated and no longer combined. And that helps water quality. It eliminates combined sewer overflows, and it also eliminates the threat of sewer backup in the residential properties. So this is the situation, and this is what we presented before. North is always up on all these drawings, and I believe this is what you have in your packet. In gold are the areas that are combined, that currently cause that entire sewer, the back and that pinkish color in the background, those lines, to be a combined sewer. And our objective is to put in additional plumbing to change all those gold areas to purple areas. That means that everything would be storm water only. And that's the objective of this project. And so at the very end, we have a combined sewer. You have a combined sewer that goes to Salt Creek. We're going to turn that into our storm sewer outlet. And everything in gold is going to be changed by virtue of plumbing, new plumbing, into purple. That's really the gist and focus of it. Now, you have a much more complicated drawing that I wanted to show you in case your eyes were not already deteriorated. That's in your packet. This is a little simpler, and this is what's shown in gold is a bunch of new storm sewers, 7,000 feet, well over a mile in length of new storm sewers that would connect up in the right-hand corner there to your existing outlet. That existing outlet is combined. That would be a storm sewer that goes out to Salt Creek under Route 83. We tie into that and change, as I said earlier, all the area that drains into this site and make it a separate storm sewer. And that eliminates some of the problems that you experience there. It increases the level of protection that the residents have for their stormwater collection. It is, as any legacy infrastructure replacement project, comes with a price tag. And we're estimating $8.7 million. And I call this a legacy. This is kind of like what we have with throughout the country with lead pipes. This is a legacy being a combined sewer. You're ahead of the game because you have over the years separated out incrementally a large number of properties and have about 87 acres left that are combined. So this is the level of protection that is upgraded for all of the residents that are recipients of protection from this Washington Street separation project. We increased those 3 areas, which we identified about 15 homes that were flooded. We increased the level of protection for those areas by virtue of replumbing. It makes it look like it's a simple project, but remember these are blocks upon blocks upon blocks of additional storm sewer, and we have the many, many conflicts. You have water main, there's gas mains, there's sanitary, there's mine sewers, so there's lots of other infrastructure that's in there that complicates it and increases the cost of the project. So as I said earlier, we'll connect up into the existing sewer outlet to Salt Creek. We do not need any new pipes under Route 83, which is tight. There's there's lots of utilities under Route 83. Those people that have tried to do work in there know that it's very, very, very tight. So we can use the existing pipe. We're going to also take advantage of the green infrastructure that you're already aware of, which includes the pavers, the bioretention, and the rain gardens and bioswales. And so that increases the water quality benefits from this project. As I understand, DuPage County will contribute up to $1 million in funding for those projects. The project, as I said, costs about $8.7 million. It reduces the potential for about 400 homes from the threat of sewer backup. Remember, what happens is when you separate it, that sewer that currently handles stormwater and sewage is only there for sewage. So you have additional capacity. The likelihood of that sanitary sewer backing up and causing sanitary sewer flooding in the homes is significantly, if not dramatically, reduced. It separates the last 87 acres of that area and allows you to do a future CSO projects, including the ones I'll talk about. And most importantly, if you decide in the future to provide some of the flood storage projects that we identified, you have the opportunity to do that. If you have combined sewers, you can't put combined sewage in a open pit, open grassed area, open pond, for the obvious problems with the things that are in combined sewers. So these are the other projects that that are south of the Prairie Path that you either have the design or the concept or the completion stage. We've summarized this, and with the Washington Street project that we talked about and the additional work, all of that yellow area, that first slide showing the combined sewer areas, will be eliminated. This shows you the future flood improvements that we identified in a report, which included some additional storage and elimination of all of the flooding in this area. You can't do these, as I've said a few times, without doing the separation that is included. This comes from our original stormwater master plan. And that is really what I wanted to talk about here. The benefits are pretty significant. You have the ability by putting, if you pursue this project for solving a lot of the flooding problems and implementing even more projects in the future as you move forward. It by itself does the sewer separation, by itself takes care of the, possibly reduces significantly the probability of backup from the sanitary sewer, and together with those projects I talked about, eliminates the combined sewage coming into Salt Creek from that significantly large area. So that's really what I wanted to summarize.
Thank
Any
you very much.
questions?
Yes, seeing this is for presentation to the board. Is any questions from the board for him? Go right ahead.
The yellow squares up there, those are people's backyards, correct?
Yes.
Do we have easements in those areas now, or we have to acquire those easements in order to do this work?
Yes, and you'd have to acquire these properties, and we're showing these, as I said in my presentation, a year and a half ago. These are concept levels. Yeah, it would have to be something that makes sense for the neighborhood.
Understood. If you go back to your page one, first map. That map? Okay. Above the yellow, north of the yellow, that's already separated?
No, that's an additional area.
Additional area, that would need to be done in the future.
Yes.
So we wouldn't be, with this project, 100% separated.
No, the idea here is that this project, the Washington Street's combined sewer separation, plus those projects that I talked about at the very end, would separate out, those projects there, would separate out all of the gold area.
Oh, the gold area, okay.
Yes.
The area to the north is also partially separated.
Partially,
Overall, we're over 80% separated.
Right, I understand we're mostly separated at this point, so.
But this is the
We're getting
largest
closer.
remaining unseparated area that we're
Understood.
talking about.
Okay. And it would, you don't have a map on this right now that tells us where north of the gold area, south of the black line is unseparated?
That's
Still
in a
combined.
separate PowerPoint presentation that's
Okay.
on the website.
Is that
but
a
I don't
website?
have it
Okay,
with me.
perfect. Those are all my questions so far.
Okay.
Anybody else?
What kind of time frame you looking? If we were to say today, go ahead with, design and build out and completion.
This project would have to be phased because it coincides with some of the road referendum projects, and currently the construction components are not funded. These would be future year projects beyond year 5. Of course, if we get funding in sooner, we can accelerate it, but we're probably a few years out being able to do any of this. I'd say at least 3 years out.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Yes.
Does this have to do with tied in with O'Connor's house?
Actually, his lot would become part of the storage that Mr. Burke was talking about. That would tie into the new storm sewer. So yes, it is part of that overall project.
Yes, Chris.
You need this, can you go to that page?
Sure. Yes.
Those gold lines, those are gonna be new lines, correct?
These gold lines. would
Those
be
gold lines,
separate,
okay,
yes.
my apologies.
Yes.
Can you go back to the other one?
Yes.
All right. I follow you, okay. This project, to the extent it affects Michigan, is under the street improvement for Michigan that's approved right now as far as funding for the construction of the street, the reconstruction of the street, but the sewer separation, which is one of the reasons we delayed, I believe, construction of Michigan between the Prairie Path and Madison, or south of Madison, possibly. I could be mistaken. It might be the area south.
North of Madison.
North of Madison.
This project is contiguous with Michigan north of Madison, but that can be built alone without this going forward because the storm sewer outlet for that project would be Madison, which does have a storm sewer currently.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Anyone else? I just want to make sure that residents understand that, like you mentioned, this is at least 3 years out. So it's not going to happen next year.
And
We have
it
to-
is currently not funded.
Yeah, I just think we have to find $8.7 million in today's dollars. So, yes, Trustee Wagner.
Thank you. I have just kind of a specific question. Recently came to my attention a property owner on the northeast corner of Washington and Addison has a very bad flooding issue. I assume that this would be, I think it's primarily overland flooding, but would
That is part of the other flood control study for
Okay.
Jackson Pond that we
Okay.
approved the design for that a couple weeks ago. So that would be part of that
Okay.
overall effort.
all right, that's all I had.
So all the severe flooding that was on Addison, north of Madison?
That all
is-
drains to Sugar Creek, so that's
Okay.
part of the Sugar Creek
That's
study.
part of the Sugar Creek one? Okay, even though we take into consideration the water that we get from Lombard onto Addison?
Right.
Is it the
That's- so that-
studies in that?
Yes,
Okay.
but that water flows south, it doesn't flow east.
It flows in the basements is where it flows. Anybody else? Yes, Chris?
That one you were just referring to, that where we're taking in Lombard's water, that's, we agreed that for Lombard to be able to use that for that little area of subdivision that they have off of Washington, south of Washington, just west of
But
Addison
that's just
Road.
a small percentage of the water
Understood.
that comes from
I
Lombard.
understood, I appreciate it. It's all gotta go, we gotta take theirs, someone else has to take ours, so I'm not saying we did anything wrong. I just wanna make sure that's tied into this, to that part of the project.
Right.
Not this project, but the.
The Sugar Creek
Sugar
watershed
Creek.
extends quite a bit into Lombard.
Okay. Perfect.
Is that it, gentlemen? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, then we'll go on to item number 6. Consider an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing the sale of police radios to the Harvey Police Department in the amount of $3,500. Manager Keenan.
Thank you, Your Honor. In 2011, the police department purchased new portable radios to be in compliance with the new Starcom network. All agencies using DUCOM were required to switch to the updated radio band frequency at that time. The radios that had been used prior to 2011 do not work on the Starcom network and are of no use to the police department. The city of Harvey, Illinois is not on the Starcom network and is in need of radios, and inquired if the Village of Villa Park Police Department would be willing to sell the radios and associated equipment to their police department. Deputy Chief Jason Banks of the Harvey Police Department has agreed to a price of $3,500 for the equipment. At this time, the police department is asking the village board to approve the sale of 63 radios and associated equipment to the city of Harvey, Illinois. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, any questions or comment from the board? Trustee Wagner?
Thank you, President Pro Tem. I just wanted to say I'm glad to see that we found a community that can make use of it and that we're gonna get something back from our old equipment, so I think it's a win-win, so good job on behalf of staff.
Anyone else? Okay. Consensus to move this forward, please. Roll call.
Trustee Ayello?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes,
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes. Item number 7, consider an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, amending the fees for parking in the village commuter parking lot. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. The village has invested significantly in the Metra parking lot as of late, and staff would like to continue investment to improve customer service and enhance the user experience. These changes include offering the passport parking payment option in the north lot, which is a smartphone app now available in the south lot only, and installing a new payment machine with all payments being the same $2 per day total. The new payment machine would interface with passport parking so police can more effectively patrol the lots and would allow for much improved financial control. So the attached ordinance codifies these changes as well as an increase in the quarterly permit rate from $82.50 to $100, which is a much smaller percentage increase than the daily pay rates. Public Works would need to renumber the north lot to accommodate these changes and can increase the number of quarterly permit spaces to meet the anticipated demand. Upon approval, we would embark on an education campaign and would help parking patrons learn the new payment options and would help transition users to the new payment equipment once installed. Thank you, Your Honor.
Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, any questions or comments from the board? Trustee Taglia?
Yes, I have a question about the quarterly permits. This fee affects that, and I just wanted to know, how long is that period for a quarterly permit? Is that a 4-month, 3-month permit?
It's a quarter, yes,
Okay, so for the year?
yes.
Gotcha. That was it.
Anyone else? Trustee Kazal?
The new payment box that's going in there, can people use that on a daily basis, or do they still have to come to the police station to get a daily sticker?
They come to the police department and obtain a daily sticker, which is then taped in their rear windshield. And part of the new process would be to increase that to $4 a day because of the time that it takes to process that payment manually at the police department. So with the new system, it'd be $2 if you use the smart app going to the parking lot.
Okay, so you'd have to have the smart app in order to use the machine on a daily basis?
I believe so.
Okay.
But I believe that you can also use $1 bills also on the new system.
The new machine will take daily pays also.
Okay.
The permits that are purchased at the police department, that's a different process. But if somebody wants to pay for 1 day, they would typically use the smartphone app, or they could use the pay box machine.
They could still use the pay, okay.
What's interesting about this is the pay box machine is linked up to the Passport parking app, which helps the police department in their patrol, so they have to go kind of hand in hand.
Okay, great, thank you.
Any other questions for me? Trustee Wagner?
Thank you, President Pro Tem. I noticed in the proposal, it said that when you bought a sticker, it was only good for a certain car, a certain vehicle. It just occurred to me that, say someone has a vehicle in the shop and they're, I don't know, they want to use it on another vehicle. How are we gonna know it's the same vehicle? Is it?
Don't look at me.
Well, no,
Thank you, Your
I
Honor.
didn't write the word.
I would suggest just offhandedly that communication with the police department, if the vehicle's in the shop, et cetera, so that the police department is well aware that that sticker would be used on a different vehicle until the other vehicle comes back.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So if you're using a different vehicle, stop at the police department and notify them, right?
I would, yes.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Any other questions from the board?
I just had one comment.
Go ahead, Trustee.
Just to clarify, the quarterly parking permit works out to $1.67 a day to park at the train station. It doesn't seem unreasonable. It seems like a reasonable fee, so. I just wondered. Yeah, it's better than downtown. That's it.
When will these go in effect?
There's a number of moving parts that need to come together with this. We need to order the pay box and get that installed and get the spaces renumbered. That all needs to happen in conjunction with one another, so we need to coordinate a lot of moving parts. The ordinance will be in effect fairly soon, but as soon as we get all the moving parts put together, I would imagine within 30 or 60 days, we'd have everything up and running. And we do want to have an education campaign for the patrons. Maybe put flyers on their cars. We're not exactly sure how that will work. And then when the new machine is up and running, schedule some time. So on the days of the first few days of the commute, we'll have somebody there to help people navigate the new machine, because it will be different. It will take a little bit more time. So we need to let people know if they're going to come that day, to allow extra time to use the machine, those types of things. So we want to make sure we, once we have everything up and running and available, do that education campaign so that we're not, we're giving the people as much information as we can, advance notice as we can. So I'm guessing 30, 60 days or so is probably the window that we're talking about. The next quarterly permits that will be going out will be just after the first of the year. So the permits that people have now are at the $82.50 rate, the ones that are going out in the next few weeks. So
Okay.
they have a little bit of time before the new rates catch up. We're not going to back charge them for anything like that. So just
Okay.
prospective.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Oh, I had just one. Just as for information purposes, when was the last time we increased the parking fee at the metro station? It's gotta be a long time.
The last time it came up, we voted it down.
That's correct, Your Honor. It predates me, so well before 2011.
Maybe 10 years. Huh? What do you think, Al?
Well, maybe 8.
8.
I remember we did raise it once when
Okay,
I was
so-
there.
Thank you.
Okay. Is that it, gentlemen? Okay. Item number 8. Consider an ordinance of the, oh, wait a minute, we have to have a consensus to move that forward.
Yes, trustee Case,
Yes.
trustee Kazone,
Yes.
trustee Wagner,
Yes.
trustee Taglia,
Yes.
trustee Ayello,
Yes.
trustee Bolt.
Yes. Okay, now number 8. Consider an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving an increase in the number of Class EEE liquor license from 5 to 6. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. The village received a request from a representative of Jimmy's Street Tacos for a Class EEE liquor license. If approved, the number of Class EEE liquor licenses within the village will increase by 1 from 5 to 6. Jimmy's Street Tacos is located at 117 West St. Charles Road. Thank you, Your Honor.
Any members from the public like to comment? State your name, please, Cheryl, and sign in.
Cheryl Tucker, 434 South Cornell. Here I stand again from the board. I stood before the board 2 weeks later. As I have before, you are again approving another liquor license. As Jan stated on September 26th, there are a number of new businesses that were interested in coming to the village, but I guess we haven't seen them because they don't need liquor licenses. Possibly she could enlighten the residents with these businesses maybe tonight sometime. As of trustee Beaufort brought up at last meeting, suggested us having the Economic Development Commission be part of the approval process for liquor licenses. To me, that would be a conflict of interest. I don't know how that commission could be objective when their goal is to assist the development and redevelopment of the village, which the Economic Development Department provides them the businesses. The sole purpose of that commission is to assist new businesses, and their goal is as part of the business district in any way possible. So I don't know how they could be objective if they had to make that decision. As a board, you all made a promise to the residents of Villa Park that you would make decisions that were best for the village. So you are here voting to approve another liquor license for another new restaurant or a business that serves food in the village, or you take into consider how many more restaurants, bars, and stores that sell liquor can this village support or withstand?
Thank you. Any other comments from the public? Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, we'll have a consensus and move this forward.
Okay, trustee Kazone,
Yes.
trustee Wagner,
Yes.
trustee Taglia,
Yes.
trustee Ayello.
Yes.
Trustee Case.
Yes.
Trustee Bolford.
Yes. Item number 9, consider a resolution for the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving the 2017 Sugar Creek Golf Course annual budget. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Sugar Creek Golf Course Administrative Board has approved the proposed Sugar Creek Golf Course budget for fiscal year 2017, beginning January 1st, 2017, and ending December 31st, 2017. Proposed expenditures equal $1,079,891, and the proposed revenues equal $1,082,872, which results in a projected net profit of $2,981. According to the intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Villa Park and the Elmhurst Park District, the proposed budget must be presented to the village president and board of trustees for final approval. Thank you, Your Honor.
Any questions from the public on this? Seeing none, any questions or comments from the board? Trustee Ayala.
There was two line items, last two items that I noticed on the budget. Seemed like they were telling us that there's contributions from the village. I couldn't tell if it was from Elmhurst or us. It seemed like it might be both. It might be both from us. Approximately $100,000 each entry. What was that for?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. The last two items on the budget are the bonds outstanding for the Village of Villa Park, which is the bottom one for $125,000. Then one line up is the bonds outstanding for the Elmhurst Park District. So taking that into consideration, that's also in the expenditure. So after the payment of the bonds on both entities from the profit of the golf course, there's a net profit of $2,981. So just a reminder to the board and folks at home that the last few years the golf course has been doing much better since we made some changes in the actually proposed and projected budget. So this is quite a pleasing budget along with the one that's currently underway.
And how much time's left on those bonds?
7 years for our bonds.
Do you know what Elmer's tax rate is?
No, I don't, but I can find out for you.
I don't know that I care that much, but
They were refinanced the same year as we refinanced ours, which I think is in June 2011.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Trustee Wagner.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. Just a question in the little narrative about the budget. It mentions that creek renovation is a project that's needed. $10,000 is added to expenses for consulting fees for development of a plan for creek renovation. Specifically, how are they going to renovate the creek? Are they going to dredge the creek, or are they going to?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, the $10,000 is for an analysis on how to improve the creek. And for those of you who have been there recently, and the creek is silted in, and the sides of the creek are like corrugated steel, and they're rusted, and they're falling into the creek. So the creek needs to be dredged, and the sides need to be reinforced or removed and just have a gentle slope, but it really needs to be dredged and the silt removed because it is part of a detention basin for the village wide, and it really needs to be done. So thank you.
The other question I had was the line item for chemicals, over $24,000 for chemicals. Is this for herbicide, or what?
Manager Gainer.
Yes, herbicide and the other applications they put on the turf to make it grow and to make it healthy, yes.
That's all I had.
Anyone else? Trustee Kazone?
Major Keener, those improvements to the creek, will they keep my balls out of the creek now?
Yours and mine are both in.
You'll
find a lot of them.
Any other? Trustee Caglia.
You know, I sit on the administration board at Sugar Creek, and I just want to mention that we owe it the thanks to Rich. He came on board, and we let him know there was a situation at Sugar Creek, and he really took charge of it, and he turned it around. And it's been a rough go, but I think things are pretty smooth now. So I just want to give credit to Rich Keener and say thank you, Rich. It's really turned around, so good job on that.
Thank you. It's been quiet, so I appreciate that. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, a consensus to move this forward.
Okay, Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Ayello?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Bolton?
Yes. Item 10, consider resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, establishing the regular meeting dates for the Village Board of Trustees, calendar year 2017. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Villa Park Municipal Code contains various references to holidays and meetings. On an annual basis, the Villa Park Board of Trustees establishes and approves an annual meeting calendar of the Village of Villa Park Board of Trustees. Staff recommends that the President and Board of Trustees pass a resolution to establish the meeting dates for the Village of Villa Park Board of Trustees for the 2017 calendar year. Thank you, Your Honor.
Any questions from the public? Seeing none, questions from the board? Seeing none, consensus, please.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Ayello?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Bolton?
Yes. Item 11, consider resolution for the Village of Villa Park DuPage County, Illinois, approving a holiday schedule for 2017. Andrew Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Villa Park Municipal Code contains various references to holidays. On an annual basis, the Villa Park Board of Trustees establishes and approves an annual holiday schedule determining when village buildings will be closed. Staff recommends that the President of the Board of Trustees pass a resolution to establish the 2017 holiday schedule. Thank you, Your Honor.
Questions from the public on this item? Seeing none, any questions or comments from the board? I have one. I know we have on there the day after Thanksgiving, I think is a holiday. You know, a lot of people work, during the days and they can't get here. I think might consider somewhere down the line, not on this one, but in the future, maybe some type of abbreviated schedule on the day after Thanksgiving, so people who are employed during the week and have difficulty getting here to do some business might have an opportunity. So it's just a comment. So I know the staff is very happy to hear that comment.
Your Honor, actually, a lot of these holidays follow step with the ASME labor contract.
Oh, labor contract.
In the labor contract, it calls for actually most of these holidays.
Okay.
So we kind of follow that labor agreement.
That was an idea. Okay, consensus to move this forward, please.
Trustee Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes. Item 12, consider a resolution to enter into an engineering service agreement with Christopher Burke Engineering Limited in the amount not to exceed $43,200 for the Bierman Ave Combined Sewer Separation Project. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. The village proposes sewer separation by the installation of a storm sewer main on Bierman Avenue between Holly Court and Division Street. The village expects to obtain up to $400,000 in Community Development Block Grant disaster recovery funding for construction. Christopher B. Berg Engineering Ltd. of Rosemont, Illinois has submitted a proposed engineering services agreement to provide design engineering services for these improvements at a cost of $43,200. Costs will be taken from account 83-502-04292 in the wastewater fund / combined sewer separation. Thank you, Your Honor.
Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, let's do a consensus roll call on this, please.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes. Item 13, consider a resolution for the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, appointing members of the Village of Villa Park, members to the Village of Villa Park Stormwater Oversight Committee. Manager Keener.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Village of Villa Park has adopted and enforces the DuPage County-wide stormwater and floodplain ordinance. The ordinance provides for a variance process whereby a petitioner may seek relief from certain ordinance provisions due to hardship. All such variance requests need to be reviewed by the village's Stormwater Oversight Committee prior to submittal to the village board for final action. There are no active committee members at this point. Therefore, 3 new oversight committee members need to be appointed. It is recommended that Economic Development Director Jan Fiola, Community Development Director Patrick Grill, and Rich Salerno, Deputy Director of Public Works, serve on this committee. And Your Honor, the 3 former employees have all retired and moved on. So you can kind of tell that this committee is not used very often, but we do have a need for this particular committee. Thank you.
Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, questions or comments from the board? Trustee Wagner.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. It mentions a section D of our code, and I didn't have a chance to look at that, but does this committee have to follow the Open Meetings Act?
Yes.
It does, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So the meeting times will be posted, and there'll be minutes, et cetera.
That's
Okay.
correct.
That's all I had.
Any other questions? Seeing none, roll call for consensus.
Okay, Trustee Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes. With that, we will convene over to the formal agenda. And the first item on there is the village president's report. And I believe we have someone here from the Lions Club who would like to make a presentation. How many we have?
Put on a different suit. First of all, we'd first like to thank the village for having the Oktoberfest. This year was a success, and just in case people don't know what the Villa Park Lions do, we provide eyeglasses and hearing aids for needy people in Villa Park. And with that said, I'm real easy to talk to. With the proceeds coming from the Oktoberfest, we'd like to present a check for $4,777.
Thank you.
A lot of money, Bill.
Thank you for, thank you to the Lions Club. We always have a good time at the Oktoberfest. I enjoy serving the beer there, you know, meet the residents. Yeah.
That's fun.
So we have a good time.
28 years ago, and I didn't enjoy myself.
I mean, thank you very much, and thank you to all the members of the Lions Club. So. Okay, public comments on agenda items. Anybody have any comments on anything on the formal agenda? Number 4 through, let's go through 9. None? Seeing none? Okay. Any amendments to the agenda from the board? Seeing none, we'll go on to the consent agenda. We've been over most of these things. I'll just read the item A, B, and C is the bill listing for October 24th, 2016 in the amount of $263,644.10. Minutes of the village COW meeting October 10th, 2016, and minutes of the village board meeting October 10th, 2016. Need a motion for item 4, which would cover all the way through I.
President Put.
Do I have a motion for the consent? Trustee Allo.
So move.
Do I have a second? Trustee Taglia?
Yes, sir.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Ayello?
Yes.
Trustee Pizone?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes. Okay, item 5, first and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a conditional use for a car wash at 780 North Addison Road. This is an existing location for the Sparkle Car Wash at the southwest corner of North Avenue and Addison Road. On October 6, 2016, following a public hearing and discussion, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the car wash with conditions including, among others, signage, business hours, architecture of the building, and landscaping. That's it. So do I have a motion for the first and final reading on the car wash?
President Pro Tem,
Trustee Wagner.
I'd like to make that motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second, please.
Trustee Ello, second. Any questions or comments from the board? I see the petitioners are here. Anything you'd like to say or not? So this is your chance. Not as good.
Craig Nelson, Car Wash Development. My partner is Steve Timmer and Don Tomich here as well. We just want to say it's been a pleasure working with staff here at the village. When we approached this project early in July, things can take a long time working through municipalities. Staff has been phenomenal in reacting to our questions as we've tried to react to theirs, and we really appreciate the opportunity to open a business in Villa Park, so thank you.
Thank you. You bring a picture of the new facility? It's in our package, but you can hold it up for the public.
I've got it on a flash drive.
How did, I have a question, Mr. Patrick. How did we handle the traffic flow on Stone? Wasn't here for the meeting on the traffic report.
One of the components of this conditional use was a request to have two-way traffic on Stone Road. The village did a traffic study performed by KLOA, and then that traffic study did go to the Traffic and Safety Committee who recommended approval of changing Stone Road to two-way traffic with some physical improvements, and that has been included in the ordinance. So,
And it would be two-way from Third to Addison Road?
correct.
Okay. You know, to be honest with you, there's already people going both ways on Stone Road, so,
Actually, this, not only will it help the car wash, it'll also help the businesses on the south side of Stone Road also.
okay, thank you. Any other questions from the board? Okay. Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Okay, Trustee Ayello?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes. Item 6, first and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, approving the increase in the number of Class EEE liquor license from 5 to 6. The village received a request from representatives of Jimmy's Street Taco for a Class EEE liquor license. If approved, the number of Class E liquor license would, within the village, would increase by 1 from 5 to 6. Jimmy's Street Tacos is located at 117 West St. Charles Road. Do we have a motion for
President Pro Tem,
Trustee Wagner?
I'd like to make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Mr. President,
Trustee Taglia?
I'll second the motion.
Is the owner of Jimmy's Tacos here? Anything you'd like to promote your business a minute on the microphone?
No pressure.
No pressure, right.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to have this opportunity and give me the opportunity to expand our business to the village of Villa Park. I've been in business for over 40 years. It's a long time. And I do have 2 restaurants right now, one in Downers Grove and one on Plainfield. I do have a liquor license in both. My sales are not like a bar, very little, just enough to make a touch to the business. If somebody wants a beer or a glass of wine, it's nothing more. If it's 3% or more, not the most 5% of the business, it's liquor. So I appreciate if you give me this opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Excuse me, can you state your name, please? State your name.
My real
Your
name is
name?
Dimitrios Letsos. I'll go by
Is there a
Jimmy.
pen up there on the counter?
Can you sign in?
Yes, please sign that in so we can get your name
I
in
got
the
Demetrios.
minutes. So thank you very much. Any other questions from the board? Yes, Trustee
So this
Wagner.
will be in the former, used to be a Taco Bell, was a Persian restaurant, which didn't make it, so that'll be a nice addition to the area.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you for coming to Villa Park.
Any other questions? Roll call vote, please.
Thank you very much.
Trustee
Thank you.
Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Ayello?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes. Item 7, first and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, amending the fees for parking in the village community parking lot. And I think we already read over this, so they have a motion for the first and final reading. Trustee Aiello there.
So moved.
Second, Trustee Kazone.
I second.
Any other questions from the board? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Okay, Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Ayello?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes. Okay, item 8, first and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a vacation of the portion of Harrison Street right-of-way. Property owners to the south, to the north and south have reached agreement on how the right-of-way would be divided. This subdivision involves 2 existing parcels on either side of the westward extension of Harrison Street from Oakland Avenue. The north lot, 1120 South Oakland Avenue, measures 56 feet, .67 inches, 56.67 feet in width by 150 feet deep. The south lot, 1200 South Oakland, measures 120.5 0.27 feet in width by 150 feet deep. These lots were originally approved at different times in different subdivisions. This re-subdivision will absorb the vacant Harrison Street right-of-way. Any questions from the public? Any questions? Well, I guess we just, do we have a motion for it, please? Do we have a motion for this? Okay. Trustee Case?
Motion to move it.
Do we have a second? Trustee Kazone?
I'll second that.
Okay. Now, we have any comments from the board? This has been going on for a while, reaching an agreement on this, dividing this, oops, I'm not adjourning yet. Dividing
Pretty
this piece of
standard,
property.
yeah.
So, we've seen no questions, we'll call a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Wagner,
Yes.
trustee Taglia,
Yes.
trustee Ayello,
Abstain.
trustee Case,
Yes.
trustee Kazone,
Yes.
trustee Bolfus.
Yes.
You're abstaining because you have a conflict.
Correct.
So state for the record, you are abstaining.
I am abstaining for no conflict.
Okay, so that motion passes. Item number 9, first and final reading of ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving an administrative subdivision for the Doan Faith Church subdivision. As part of the vacation request process, an appraisal was conducted to determine the value of the right-of-way. This appraisal identified the value at $18,000. Both parties have provided $9,000 of their half of the right-of-way. Both lots meet the bulk requirement of the zoning district in which they are located. Do I have a motion for the first and final reading? Trustee Taglia.
I'll move.
Do I have a second? Come on, gentlemen. Trustee Wagner?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Do, any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Trustee Taglia,
Yes.
trustee Ayello,
Abstaining at the conflict.
trustee Case,
Yes.
trustee Kazone,
Yes.
trustee Wagner,
Yes.
trustee Bolfus.
Yes. Item number 10, public comments on non-agenda items. Okay. Please sign in, state your name for the,
My name is David Seghetti, and I'm just here to seek any kind of help I can get from the Village of Villa Park. I'm actually from Lombard, but don't be mad at me for that. What I'm asking about, come on, no laughter. What I'm asking about is I started a program, it's called Basket Brigade, DuPage Basket Brigade to be specific. And what it does is gets donations of both monies, non-perishable food items, and it's all done through volunteer work. So what I'm doing is it's in its second year. We're still kind of in an infancy stage. We're looking for 100 baskets and 100 bags for homeless people. And the baskets are for families. Everything is for families in need. I'm sorry, I'm not doing a very good job explaining it.
go ahead.
But I've got a little brochure here that I can pass out to all of you. I'm not sure how that works. I can leave them here. And I've also got some small cards to pass out. And I'm just really looking for any kind of help that I can get. We're very small to begin with. We've got some volunteers signed up. We have a website and all that kind of stuff too. But this has all just started to get going. It stems from something else, but I'll let you read that if you'd like to on the website. It goes into more detail of it. But again, that's the bottom line, is to get baskets of food for people for Thanksgiving. And ultimately, down the road, we'd like to do it for other holidays as well, just for helping people in need. So, thank you very much. I'll finish that.
So you're putting baskets together for people in need for Thanksgiving.
Correct.
And you need donations.
Yes.
Okay. And so where would people donate?
Well, if you go to the website, it'll have all the details there. You can actually donate. If you're looking to donate money, you can do that on the website. You can do you can do a basket. A basket is $50, or you can do any denomination you like. You can also donate non-perishable food items. And right now we've got 3 drop spots that I'm looking for more, throughout, the DuPage County area. Right now we've got, actually 3 in Lombard right now. So again, any assistance that any of you might have, or anybody that you know, feel free to have them contact me, and we can coordinate other drop sites. This is all relatively new for me as far as the not-for-profit type of thing. And no salaries also are getting paid or wages or anything. The only costs are any kind of marketing costs that we do, and then any fees from PayPal for doing the donations. But otherwise, it's purely voluntary.
What's the website?
It's DuPageBasketBrigade.com. And it's on the flyers and on the cards as well.
Well, you're on TV and around
Oh,
the community.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Know, so.
All right.
Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
And then you get your list of people in need from where?
We contact various different churches and associations that work with people in need. We'll deliver the baskets directly to the families through volunteers again, or deliver it to those locations depending on how they like to do it. The whole point is just to get something to people.
Sure. Great. Good idea.
Great. Thank you.
Appreciate your work on that.
We're okay.
Yes. She'll pass them out.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else from the public on non-agenda items?
Cheryl Tucker again, 434. First of all, I'd like to thank and praise the fire department. It was a wonderful event, and I know a lot of people in the village really appreciated what you showed them and the education they learned that day, so I'd like to applaud the fire department for doing that. The second thing, I'd like to invite people of Villa Park to the pumpkin patch. It's on the corner at Community Congregational Church on the corner of Cornell and Highland. This is our last week selling pumpkins before Halloween, and the pumpkin patch is open on the weekend from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Weekdays, it's open from the weekday events. It's open from 3 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So if you have not purchased your pumpkins yet, as you're going into Halloween, or you've got pumpkin carving to go on, we've got pumpkins out there of every size for every event, from little bitty ones to big monster ones. So stop by and check out the pumpkin patch.
What's the location again, Cheryl? Where is it?
On the corner of Cornell and Highland. And all the proceeds go to benefit service projects that the church do. So it's
great.
It's a great pumpkin patch. It's got some of the best pumpkins, I swear, every year.
Anybody else from the public? Okay. Then we'll move down to village clerk's report.
Okay, yes, I just have one item, and that is to let residents know about the early voting locations. For the ones closest to us, there's some permanent ones like at Yorktown that's always there, but for us in this area, the Addison Township office has temporary location for voting. This is from October 24th, so it began today, through November 7. And Addison Township office, it's in their gymnasium at 401 North Addison Road. And then the other one is Elmhurst City Halls. It's right in their chamber, their regular city council chamber, at 209 North York Street in Elmhurst. And so they are open from 8:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday, till 7:30 p.m., and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that is it.
Thank you. Okay, trustee report. Trustee Taglia.
No report tonight.
Trustee Case.
Yes. Deputy Chief Lay answered my question, but I have to figure out how I'm gonna explain this to the people on Jackson Street. We put up signs, no parking signs, but we don't have an ordinance. So how do what's our next step with this? And we can't enforce that. Or are we gonna come up with an ordinance sooner or later, or?
I thought generally that went to traffic and safety, and then
How
they
it
come
works?
with a recommendation. That's right. So that's the way it should go.
Okay.
So somebody has to notify, right?
That's correct.
You'll do that, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Happy to do that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Trustee Kazal, anything else? No. Trustee Kazal.
No report tonight.
Trustee Wagner?
Yeah, I just have a couple things. And being the liaison to the Traffic and Safety Commission, I think they've had some preliminary discussions about this already, if I'm not mistaken. But just a couple things. Just want to let folks know that the Villa Park Junior Women's Club is going to have their Trick or Trot this coming Saturday, October 29th. It's a 5K run and walk. You can register starting, I think, at 7 o'clock or 7:30, and it starts at 7 a.m. And just something interesting I discovered, for folks who maybe can't get to the village drop-off for electronics, York Township Highway Commission, or the Highway Commissioner or the Highway Department, which is at 19 West 475 Roosevelt Road, behind the Goodwill Building, they are accepting electronics from 7 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. But you have to unload your vehicle yourself because they don't have staff there to unload for you. So that's fairly recent. Just want to let folks know that the Environmental Concerns Commission will not be meeting this Thursday. They have a couple commissioners out of town, so they have canceled their meeting. But they will be meeting next month, and I'll be posting that meeting date. Just want to let folks know about the Park Art Center. I know President Bullwinkle mentioned this at our last meeting. They have a brand-new exhibit coming to the Park Art Center. They're having a special reception on Friday, November 11th, from 6 to 8 p.m. And this is a fairly noteworthy artist. His name is Didier Nollet. And if you go online, some really beautiful landscapes. So this is a fairly prominent artist that's going to be exhibiting at the Park Art Center. So we just encourage folks to go there and take a look at that. And I think that's going to be running for at least a month at the Park Art Center. Just want to let folks know that the Environmental Concerns Commission, in conjunction with SCARIS, is going to be doing a pumpkin recycling thing. You bring your old pumpkins here, take out the candles, etc., and they're going to be composted. So thanks to staff and Roy Strom for helping make that happen. Also want to let folks know about the library is going to have their murder mystery. That's coming up Friday, November 4th, Saturday, November 5th, and Sunday, November 6th. Tickets are $12 in advance and $15 at the door. And if you haven't been to the murder mystery, it's a lot of fun. It's goes through a good cause. And lastly, I just want to congratulate Diane Lupker, who was appointed to the library board. Matt Gatkowski moved out of town, and so they interviewed folks, and they've appointed Diane Lupker, who's a great addition to the library board. And that's all I had.
Thank you. Trustee Allo?
I'll do two things tonight. First of all, community congregational. I don't know who's making those pumpkins, who's growing them, but the seeds are like this. They're the best pumpkin seeds ever out of those. You got to go there to get your pumpkins. They're the best pumpkins. Is that where they're from? All right. Cool. And then Basket Brigade, Dave's the guy that came to my office and mentioned he had this thing that he did with Basket Brigade. So I suggested that he come to the board and present. So that's why Dave's here today. And I'll give you all a recommendation. Great guy, very community-minded, and DuPage County-wide, although he's based in Lombard. We'll let that slide for this evening. But I recommend you guys, take a look at his site and give a helping hand if you can. That's all I have.
Well, I have one thing. Director Fiola, maybe you can help me out. I think there's some things going on Villa Avenue this coming weekend with trick-or-treating and a costume contest. And see, I asked for your help because I forgot the time it starts. 1 o'clock, is it? And then the costumes are at 3:30? That sounds
I
good.
think the costumes are at 3.
3?
3 o'clock,
Okay.
yeah.
So, yeah, the old Villa Avenue business area is having kids dress up in your Halloween costumes and you can go from business to business. I think you'll be able to get some candy there and some treats. And then over in Cortese Park at 3 o'clock, there'll be a costume judging contest. And we all look forward to having a big crowd out there. There's usually quite a number of kids out there on Villa Avenue will be on this Saturday afternoon, on the 29th. So look to see you out there. I think Trustee Cazone's going to be judging the costumes, so. Okay, that's all I have. And then we'll have the manager's report.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just want to remind everyone that Halloween trick-or-treat hours are going to be on Monday, the 31st, from 3 to 7. And there's also some Halloween safety tips on our village Facebook page. And then on this Thursday, October 27th at 6:30, we'll have another sales tax referendum informational meeting at our Iowa Community Center. Thank you.
You want to remind them about the free leaf pickup too?
Yes, there's currently free leaf pickup, I believe, until December 2nd. So you can put as many bags out as you like, and they'll be picked up free of charge.
Thank you. Okay, attorney's report?
No report.
Okay, well, we're not in need of an executive session tonight, so we won't do item 15. All I need now is a motion to adjourn.
Mr. President Pro Tem.
And everybody at once. Trustee Taglia.
So
and second
moved.
by Trustee Calzone. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
All right.
Nice job, Al.
Yeah, really good job.
Yeah.
Next time.